Hello YouTube. This is BalorMage again with my final update for our Poison Summon Raging Spirit build. We made quite a lot of changes from quite a lot of endgame options on how to min-max this a lot further. I will mention right at the beginning, I did not get to the point of putting a Mage Blood on this build, which it could absolutely take and is absolutely one of the endgame options, but the Mage Blood is a boring option and anyone who can afford a Mage Blood can just slap a Mage Blood in. So I decided to go with some other things. So you can see in the background, it's now mapping even better. It's now bossing. We've successfully done all the Uber bosses, which I haven't even done most of the Uber bosses ever. I'm not a bossing person. I'm actually exceptionally bad at it. We have and we will put all of the Uber bosses that we did at the end of this video, so you can skip through and have a look at them if you want. Not all of them are clean. I'm not a good bosser, so a lot of those, there's some lost portals and all sorts of stuff, but you can get a pretty good idea of how much damage we're doing that way, which is a lot of damage, which is the main reason we're able to be carried through those Uber fights. I will mention Bob lived through all the Ubers when I did them, and then I spent an entire day farming all of the Ubers that I could possibly get my hands on, and eventually, unfortunately, Bob did die. So our Animate Guardian did eventually die. Now, it was to something that was somewhat my fault, but it turns out Uber Exarch and Uber Sirus are both incredibly dangerous for Bob, and I would suggest maybe not even bringing him, or at least not rolling your invitations to 90% quantity like I was doing, because there's some Bob danger involved in that. Animate Guardians living through that is a little bit of a struggle. So we're gonna jump into some path and buildings. I'm gonna show you some of the differences we made and how much of a difference it made. All right, so we have two path of buildings open right now. Now this one right here, this is the old path of building from the last video. Now everybody knew we were already poison capped in the last video. Like every build guide in existence, it was set to Guardian and Pinnacle boss. The real big problem is that when you are already poison capped, it doesn't matter how much more gear you put in, you don't get very much more DPS. So all the upgrades I made, all the changes I made, when you set it on Uber Pinnacle, we only went from 51k to 55k, and we invested a lot to do that. So I was like, that's not worth it. And then I looked and I was like, oh, you know what? Let's look at the Uber Pinnacle boss, since that's the only damage that matters anymore. And the last path of building that I handed out, the last video we made, had 18.5 million DPS on Uber Pinnacles. And I was like, okay, what's my new one? And then I looked and it is 27 million Uber Pinnacle DPS. And as you'll be able to see in the Uber fights that are attached to the end of this video, that's why it's so long, that is a real DPS number. It is insane. Even if you are a Papega bosser who is going to lose portals, who is going to stand in things like I am, you will still be able to successfully kill every Uber in the game. Like, hands down, no problem at all. Yeah, you might lose some portals here and there, but you do so much damage while you're alive that even if you lose portals quickly, you're still going to kill them all. This build is insane. So let's go over some of the things that we've changed. In our old path of building, you'll notice that our tree looked like that, and we had this the Green Nightmarian, and we had two clusters going on. So I decided I wanted to be a little bit more defensive. I also wanted to get a little bit more energy shields so that I have more buffer, because I did occasionally get a problem where I'd run out of energy shield while mapping, and that was very frustrating. And there were quite a few different solutions to that. The one that I went with was just getting a larger energy shield pool, and that had seemed to work with me, but I will go over some other options a little bit later. For now, what I did is I chose to do this. I completely respect my entire tree. We ended up dropping Divine Shield. We ended up dropping this whole area, and we ended up dropping the double cluster setup. Frankly, we end up doing more damage this way anyway, but what it requires is a much better cluster. So we ended up with a cluster with 35% increased effect and 3% attack and cast speed and Call to the Slaughter and a life roll. Now, Call to the Slaughter is the only notable we would accept on a cluster like this, a 12-point cluster. But it would be even better if it didn't have a notable at all and instead had an all-res roll or a dex roll or a chaos res roll or something useful in that slot. Call to the Slaughter is almost as good as having a really good suffix on there. So near enough is good enough for me. That was fine. In order to keep Bob alive through all the Ubers, which he did survive an entire day of Uber farming, right up until my last map. And in order to make him that tanky, I did also put a medium in. This is definitely optional. You could definitely just skip these points, especially if you're not going to be hard farming Ubers all day, or especially if you're not going to do the fire boss, whose name I've suddenly forgotten that I mentioned earlier, and Sirus, because those are the two like most dangerous to Bob. So this is just Blessed Rebirth and Dread March. The idea was just to make him tanky. So Blessed Rebirth gives us 20% maximum life, and we have minions created recently can't be damaged, so that our SRS don't insta die in boss fights. That was very nice. And Dread March for just a little bit of defenses. This is totally optional. It seemed very worth it to me, but totally optional. You can see we've still gone EB, we've still gone suppression, we've still gone all the res. What we were able to get out of doing a full respec like this is basically just more life and more energy shield. Especially this wheel was very, very good. I didn't really need a lot more life. We just needed a lot more energy shield, but having 5, 5, 5 and 3% of maximum life as extra energy shield, that really helped bump us up. We also got a bunch of extra jewel sockets, which just replaced the ones from out here. I also did a few other things. Now, you might notice I don't have a roomies on anymore. However, I am still block capped and spell block capped. Now, I don't think this is worth doing. I went the Ashes route. It is eventually better, but the amount of stuff I had to go through to get it better than an Ools, I don't think it was worth it at all. The amount of money I had to spend in total to make this setup better, I think I should have just kept an Ools on and bought 2/3 of a Mage Blood instead. But hey, I did it. So let's see what we've done. We can actually look at some of this in game because that'll be a little better.
And not before.
So the big thing about Ashes, the 20% RMR is needed, but also the 30% quality is needed. And the reason we want 30% quality in this version is because I went and stacked a bunch of alt quality stuff. So starting with Anomalous Despair, which gives us 10% increased damage from damage over time effects. That's what cursed enemies take, but then instead of 10 with Ashes, it ends up being 25. 25% increased damage taken is a lot. Then we get the Divergent Bone Offering, which adds 2% chance to block attacks and spells. With Ashes ends up being an extra 5% chance, which is huge. We also ended up getting a Divergent Animate Guardian, which gives you supposed to give you up to 40% increased maximum life as its quality, but you end up with 100% increased maximum life, which is insane. The in-game tooltip for my Bob was 97.7k, which made him quite tanky. We also got some fractured +2 to level of socketed minion gems, boots, and crafted them so that we could have an extra 2 levels. That, plus the 2 levels that come from the helmet, which also needed a helm enchant, by the way, plus the 1 level from the Ashes, left us with a Raised Spectre that was level 26. We We actually only needed 25. That got us a third Spectre. Spectres will be in the path of building. And it also got us to level 26 on the Divergent Animate Guardian. So we ended up very, very, very tanky. Our auras all end up just getting larger area. The Anomalous Stone Golem, which is increased buff effect, which is supposed to be 20% buff effect. With a Ashes and Anomalous, it ends up being 50% buff effect. And then Divergent Tempest Shield, which is an extra 2% chance to block spell damage while holding a shield, which with an Ashes ends up being 5. So that's a lot of stuff. Oh, we also got a Divergent Frost Blink to make our Frost Blink cooldown better. And then on top of that, I also had to get a Watcher's Eye, which ended up giving us block cap. I needed block with determination, and I managed to pick up unaffected by poison while affected by malevolence at the same time. So we ended up poison immune and block capped without a roomies. Now, that's the way to do that. I don't think that was worth it. Next time I do that, I will just continue wearing a roomies and I will not go to all that effort. It was absolutely... Is it better? Yes. Was it worth the amount of effort I put in to get there? No, not at all. There are a few other options. One of the main ones that I wish I had have gone with is, and let's see if I can find them. I might have put them in here. I did. One of them was I was looking at this because they were incredibly cheap. For each corpse nearby, you regenerate 0.2% energy shield per second up to 2. And then if you've consumed a corpse, another 8, giving you 10% energy shield regen ish. That option will just stop me from doing that running out of energy shield thing while mapping. So that could have been really nice. There were also 2 other options that I would have liked to have looked at. One of them is Vile Bastion, which again, while mapping, can give us 10% energy shield regen, as well as cannot be stunned while you have energy shield, which is quite nice. That's just smoothing out my gameplay and letting me, you know, not run out of mana when I hit a degen, or at the very least recover it quicker. And there's also Void Beacon, which I think is the highest damage one that we could get for Forbiddens, but honestly, we've got so much damage, I just didn't value giving up points for damage as much as I'd value giving up like points or jewels for better quality of life, right? That's the thing that got me the most, is that I'm doing so much damage, I don't actually care about increasing the damage more. I care more about, can I get some quality of life? Can I counter the few weaknesses of the build, which is usually like certain degens or single incredibly large hits that remove all of my energy shield, and then I have to like wait for the regen to start again, or the recovery, and that sort of bit was a little bit annoying. So the 2 best solutions, as far as I can tell, are Essence Glutton and Vile Bastion. Either one of those pretty much solves that problem. Vile Bastion is slightly better for mapping. Essence Glutton is a lot better for bossing. However, if you do one of those, you cannot really afford to use a Watcher's Eye, which is fine because the Watcher's Eye isn't that big of a deal. I was only using it to do the block cap without roomies thing, but we can only afford to give up 2 more jewels realistically. So if you use a Watcher's Eye, you can't afford a Forbidden. If you use Forbiddens, you can't afford a Watcher's Eye. You have to pick one. So the other thing that I did that is pretty important in this setup is I ended up needing cold res. So I ended up just using a cold res relic because I was getting pretty desperate on res, fitting in all my extra modifiers. But we did put Mage Bane on it. So that is how we fixed our suppress cap and how we were able to give up that unique jewel that we were using here before. I have put Mage Bane from my relic in the little custom modifiers area. So you can see that I am still suppress capped, but that is how I'm getting that. You will, if you change over to this tree, you will need Mage Bane. So that is, I think, most of the changes. There is one other thing that I want to hit on. I also tested out this. So I got a pair of Delve gloves with the Summon Phantasms and Summon Raging Spirits have a 5% chance to refresh their duration when they hit a unique enemy. Now, what this let me do, and what you will see in all of the Uber fights at the end of this video, is that I was able to put Summon Phantasms support at level 21 in instead of Unleash. Now, that means I only get to summon one Summon Raging Spirit at a time, which makes it a little harder to keep up my cap, especially since the cap is 25 with the Divergent Summon Raging Spirit and an Ashes. So it's a little harder to keep that up, but then once you get there, they tend to maintain themselves, and it added in 11 Phantasms, which in theory, according to Path of Building, deal an additional 5.2 million Uber Pinnacle boss DPS, which is not accounted for in this Path of Building. So we're actually sitting at 32.2 million if you count the Phantasms. However, after spending the whole day bossing, both with the Phantasms and without them, the discovery that I made is I'm not sure that those gloves are worth it for one reason. It is very hard to keep your SRS at the 25 count anytime the boss is doing anything dangerous. If it does something that can kill your SRS, and that lowers that number, you lose damage way too fast if you can't keep SRS at a cap. So I did all the Ubers both ways, and it was definitely a lot more damage to have the Phantasms in, but it only worked when I was able to solidly burst them down without having any troubles, without dying and having to come back in again, without anything like that. So it made the number higher, and I could add it all into the Path of Building and have it say 32.2 mil Uber boss DPS so that the number looks higher. But in reality, I think the quality of life of just having Unleash in just wins. The times where the boss fight went poorly and I died and had to come back in, or I wasn't able to skip a phase because I did just a little tiny bit too little damage and I had to deal with mechanics at all that killed the Summon Raging Spirits, like not being able to get it back up to 25 wasn't worth it. And I ended up doing significantly less DPS in practice in game when I had the Phantasms in. So Phantasms work great if everything goes smoothly, but if everything goes smoothly, you didn't need the help anyway. This is already way too much damage. So it just didn't end up being worth it. As much as I enjoyed adding Phantasms into the build, it feels a little bit like a Path of Building warrior trick. And so we are going to just leave them out. I just wanted to present it as an option. It is what I did. I don't think it's worth it. However, the +2 levels of minion gem thing, that was definitely worth it. And if we do that, that can be in either the gloves or the boots. So you get options there. So that's very nice. It was a very good build. I'm probably done with the high budget versions of this for this league. We will be practicing a bunch of league start versions, but that won't be until the end of league. So this is all we're going to get out of this for this one. There will be an FAQ video coming out in the next few days, going over like all of the common questions and answers that everyone get, and we will attach a document to that, which we will keep updating. So hopefully we can answer any questions that we see often. All right, if you're still here in the video this late, we also did launch channel memberships today on YouTube. The way we're going to be approaching that is you basically get nothing. All content will remain free forever. You get no benefits. So there's a 99-cent tier because it's a numbers game and we just want to try and get the number as big as possible. And if anybody feels like pressing that, we definitely appreciate the support, but there are no benefits. I will not be giving videos out early. I will not be giving preferential anything to people who press the button. If you want to support, press the button. That'd be great. If not, your views are appreciated anyway. Enjoy all of my really horribly skilled Uber kills right here. And I will see everybody next time.
returned tenfold.
Oh no, oh no, it's this.
Behold my collection.
I will have what I want. Death will not be an escape.
Left, right, top. Oh no, don't do that. Oh,
Resistance will be
wait, where did those dots go? Oh no, that's not where I want them at all. Oh, I lost track of the puddles. Oh, that's bad news. Can't be doing that.
My irritation is growing. Death will not be an escape.
Okay. Top, right, top, left, right, top, I think. Uh-oh. Yep. It's fine. Everything's fine.
death made real.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. The degens. Oh, I'm fucking that right up.
Stop resisting.
Oh, no. The degens.
Reality bends.
Oh, I'm ruining that.
Punishment inescapable.
Arrogant toy. Death will not be an escape.
I think top, right, top, left,
Scurry.
right.
Scurry.
Is that it? Hello? Uh-oh. Nope. I must have missed the starting one there. I must have missed the starting one there. It must have started on the left and then done the whatever thing that I had tried.
When I'm ready and not.
Stand still.
Yeah, I will actually.
A cascade of pain.
Ooh.
Take this. Do what I say.
That's fine still. Bob at no risk. All good.
You forced an intervention, Nomad. You have proved your might. You have proved your ignorance.
The toy refuses. The toy causes me pain. Is the toy alive? Oh, I apologize to the toy. I did not realize you
Were like me.
I hope we can continue to play together.
That was cool.
It is not a battle you can win, hatchling.
When I'm ready and not.
We will fight side by side.
Okay, what does this look like?
My champion, energize the spheres.
Oh, I thought I dodged that well, but apparently I had not. Bob's fine. Let's try again.
more mana.
Oh, okay. So that's like a laser that fires at me. I don't know the moves here. So my stone boy isn't doing too well, but my Bob feels fine.
My champion, energize the spheres.
Oh! Oh no! Oh no! I'm not gonna get them all. Oh, there's still 2 left. Oh! Okay, well I don't know what I'm doing. It turns out. I do not know what I'm doing. Whew. Well, I don't know what I'm doing, but I still did it. Hey! Good luck, Bob.
Your absurd defiance ends here, hatchling.
Are you ready?
Annihilation. The fires of 1,000 suns.
Oh no, it's this already?
I shall extinguish them all.
You do not have the strength, hatchling.
I need more.
Oh!
This realm shall be studied by flame for eternity.
Okay.
Pathetic.
Full phase it is. Bob's still healthy.
The fires of 1,000 suns.
Does this end? Do I have to kill the ads before it ends?
Disintegration.
It's fine.
Cleansing. Incineration. Annihilation. Disintegration. Cleansing.
Valdo had some ingenious design
Oh, shit.
hidden in his memories. Observe.
Ooh.
Rayclass needs me. Darkness surrounds us. Valdo's designs were flawed. Do you remember dying here? You will. Feel the pull of the void. What are you?
Well,
In this, the realm
we are
of
on
the past,
75 chaos
I
res
am
here.
king, and you
That still
will
feels pretty good.
bow. This one is my own creation.
Imagine if we had recombinators. Actually would just be gross.
Rayclass needs me. Darkness surrounds us.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Ah, plenty more.
That's fine. We don't care. Just don't stand in the degen and everything's fine.
Be no more. No! Impossible! How? This isn't over. This will never be over. I will unify humanity.
Well, that was surprisingly easy.
Fury of the cosmos. Embrace nothingness.
That looks dangerous.
Annihilated.
Can I come in, please? Sir?
Fury of the cosmos.
What's this? A real challenge? You've finally caught my attention.
This city is nothing.
Okay. Well, that was just the same with more trash on the floor. Took about the same time as I'm used to as well. Bud, you coming?
Annihilated. Obliteration.
The others found strength in their projections.
They became reliant on them.
I am not so foolish.
Oh,
I
whoops.
need more mana.
I have seen
Oh, that was very quick.
meaningless.
I got hit by that. That happened a lot quicker than I was expecting. It didn't hurt, but it was happening a lot quicker than I was expecting.
Pointless.
I'm pretty sure I blocked it because otherwise, I don't know if it would kill me, but it should have moved my life, right?
Reign of stars.
Is life really interesting enough?
Like, I don't know if it would one-shot me. I'm very tanky, but it would definitely have moved my life.
I have seen beyond. Why run?
What's the point? Yeah, so it turns out Bob hasn't taken any damage yet. Maybe the last phase?
Obliteration.
Keep coming, bud.
Be utterly annihilated.
Death, my heart races.
I am alive. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Ooh! Okay, well, Bob took no damage. My Bob is immortal. I'm good. Let's give it a go, shall we?
You force my hand.
And again, little mouse.
You've chosen to side with chaos. This is my world.
And you shall obey my order. Those don't hurt at all. Ah! Ah! Okay, so there's doubles like in the third phase? It's more like there's triples. Was there 3 of them?
When I'm ready and not before.
Trying to recover. Hurry! Let's find a way back.
Life is too precious to waste on you.
Okay. And we're back.
Behold the face of your unmaking.
Father, it's me. Let me help you.
The horror must stop. Obstacles destroyed.
Irrelevant. Well, I kind of like this boss fight, to be honest.
Get back.
This might be the easiest one of the lot.
These memories are mine. I cannot lose them.
They lied to you, Father. I'm your true
Bum
memory.
bum 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 bum.
Be sacrificed.
I need more mana. When I'm ready and not
Oh, I thought I was gonna get. Oh, and it did die. Does that? Oh, we'll call it a draw. SRSs before we start, and in we go. Spoil and fester.
Exile, do something.
Oh, he's already done. This explosion should happen. There we go. Oh God. How do you dodge that? Oh, you just have enough life that you don't dodge it and you get hit by every one of them and it doesn't fucking matter? Is that the play? Okay, we should be getting an explode in just a second. Yep, there it goes. So the timing is just everything a little faster. Okay. Oh, whoops. Lol, I got hit by that. And that, and let me out. Oh, I just wanted to stack the thing. I just wanted to stack it on top of that like you do in Shaper. Oh, I shouldn't have. I could do it so much DPS. I was never going to fill the arena. It was totally safe for me to just put that anywhere. That was just silly. That was just silly. Although so far, Bob has not been. I'm gonna be honest. I've been staring at Bob's health a lot more than I've been staring at mine.
When I'm ready and
All
not
right.